art students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, or should I say the comic book art teacher, back again with another video. And today we will be doing something different. Today I'm going to show you guys how to draw couples, because if you're doing comics, you're going to be doing two people in close proximity. So I talk about this in the video. So let's not waste any more time. Get your pencils together and let's go to the drawing table. All right, art students, welcome back to the drawing table. Now we're going to get a little deep here by doing some good art stuff. I was going to call this hugs, but it goes a little deeper than that. It's about having two people together, as in hugs are one thing, but if you're going to do a comic book, you're going to have people that are going to be in close proximity. Not just hugging, but fighting, grappling, whatever. So this is going to be about how to draw more than one character on a page and have them look like they are together, because a lot of us, when we first start, we always draw that one action pose, and we're like, oh, that's good, and we go back, or we put it aside, and then we go get another piece of paper, and we do that one action pose again. So we never really do two or three people together. So today I'm going to show you how to do a couple together, and that's something I was going to call it couples, but it'll translate into fighting and other things, but you have to do this to get that started. So there's a couple things you need to know before we get started, and a couple things you should have. I'm not going to say you have to have, but if you have them, it's going to make it a lot easier, and if you don't have them, it's going to make it a lot harder. So these are the things that you should have that's going to make this a whole lot easier. Blue pencil, red pencil, okay? If you've been with me for a while, you know I usually use two pencils. I probably haven't done it in a minute. I just stick with red. So that's the thing that you're going to need, and I'm going to get a darker pencil so that you can see me. What is this? This is a H. This is a, I just want to go a little darker. Maybe not. I don't want to be. I can't find my regular pencil, these things. So anyway, all right. So in drawing, when you're doing the body, I tried to break it down to make it as easy as possible. So when you do the anatomy, you can do it a couple ways. You can do like a capital A, like that, and then you can put a head on it, and then the arms, whatever. But that's a really simple way to draw the body if you're not used to drawing the body. Another way is you kind of do this, but you turn it into a point. You're still doing this, but then I'll just bring it up to a point like that. That's what I use whenever I'm doing like quick sketches and just putting stuff together, if I'm not trying to do the final piece. And then you can always do, what I taught you to do using the pieces. And whenever you draw, always think of separate pieces, separate. That makes drawing a lot easier. But when I'm doing a rough sketch, I do this. I use this because when you do this, you can get your motion into it. And that's something else. When somebody is hugging someone, you're going to get a lot of twists and bends and just slight movement or slight bend, slight twist. That's going to make the picture come across a lot better. It's going to look a lot better. You can't have somebody hug somebody that's rock hard stiff. It's just not, it's going to be like, oh, this person is hugging a wall or whatever. So there's always going to be a bend or a twist or something like that in there. And this is why I use this, because if I'm going to draw something, I don't know what, I will do this. So there's my bend already right in there. Let me keep this on the camera. And then I can, I don't know, just maybe something like this, something like that. But see, I've got my motion. So this is pretty much somebody running. So let me put a head here. And anytime I put a head on the person or this oval on top of whatever body, I can kind of almost see what the person is doing. So to me, this one looks like he's looking back. He might be looking back. He's like running away from something. He's looking back. So then I will go and I'll do this and I'll do that. Okay. So the body is already there. I've got the position, the balance. So then I will come and I will add my pieces. Circle for that, bicep, tricep, my cone for the forearm. Same thing here, circle, cone. No, this is the cone. Cylinder, cone, and pretty much got the legs already, because you know that this part is going to be wider or fatter than this part. This triangle is going to come right down to the foot. So simple and easy, because I use this shape. I don't know, I've never really had a name for it, because it's just something that I automatically did, so I didn't have to like break it down or teach anybody and give it a name. So with something like that, then I can say, if I'm ready to do my finished piece, then I will say, okay, let me get the torso in here. This is going to be round, of course. Let me get the belt, and I'm going to slim them down too. Get this, the tuna can, and then I'll get this, get my center line here. There's going to be right there. The center is going to be the crotch. And then I can slim this thing down to where I want it. And then I've got my pretty much finished product. So now, when we're talking about, was that always here? I don't know, my camera is just weird. I had a paper like this, but I said, let me turn it this way so I can get a little closer. But the closer I get with the camera, the more I tend to push the paper up. Sorry, so if I did that, I'm sorry. So as I was saying, when it comes to drawing people together, close proximity together, you're going to have to start making sure that you're using your cylinders and your cones. Sorry. Okay, so because of the one reason is this. Okay, so like this is my shoulder. So I'm going to need this to either go in or come out. So by putting this cylinder on this circle right here, and then there's going to be my open part right here. For this, I usually don't do the circle for the elbow, but it's better to do that, because you're going to, again, then you're going to put that on top of that circle. And let me see if I have a thing here. Perfect. It's right here. A lot of times when I look for stuff, I can't find it. So basically, this is like this. You have your delt, which is that circle. You're going to put this on here. Moving it around, and you're going to either see the inside or you're not, because it's going back. That just makes it a lot easier. And then if you have another right here, and then you put this on. So basically you're trying to keep up with your ends, your fronts, and your backs, because when grabbing somebody or hugging somebody or wrestling somebody, you're going to need to know if the arm is going out or if it's coming in. And by keeping it round on the ends, you will always know. Okay, so what did I do with my pen? Same thing over here. We're going to come down, do this. It's going to be here. It's going to be round right here. It's going to be stuck right there. Come out. Do that. Put the ball in there. And then this, let's just say, let's bring this one coming in toward us. So this is going to be round here, and it's going to come in like that. But being around like this, you know it's coming in. And this is just kind of like almost doing a bear hug almost. And then you put your hand wherever you want to do. But that's kind of one of the important things that you need to do, is use these first. If you're going to do a couple together hugging, or if you're doing a couple fighting, or let's go back to the hugging part. Unless you're drawing nude, then you won't have to worry about the muscle. All you have to do is get the shape right, get the form right. All right, a couple other things you need to know before you get started. And I threw the pencil somewhere. I do that. I have so many pens, you can't see this, just out of reach. There it is. I have so many above me that I don't know where stuff is. All right, the other thing that you need to know is that, pull out my paper because I have some notes here because I want to give this step by step by step. All right, so the person, let's just say the man is 6 feet. 6 feet. Okay, let's just go this sideways. Your head is usually 9 inches. The average head is usually like 9 inches. So 6 feet, total 6 feet. So whatever, let's just say I'm doing a female, you need to know how tall she's going to be next to him. I'm just using lines right now. That way, you'll know where she stacks up, or if she gets close to him, where she will actually fit on this guy. Her head is going to be, you know, right here. And the waist is going to be right here. Where's his waist? So you have to get them lined up to know exactly where they will fit together. So he's here, and so she's kind of like this. So you have to know that sizes. There's a lot of things that I can kind of explain and kind of show, but you are going to have to be the one, because it's like drawing a hand. I can say, okay, this is how you draw a hand, but that's just one angle of a hand. A hand could go like this, like this, like this, like this, like every little, you know, so who can say how to draw a hand unless you're drawing every hand? So you have to show the basics of drawing that one thing, and then you should be able to pick up the parts that you need that were not taught to you. And that's what I try to do in videos. So you have to know their sizes first, okay? Simple thing. If he's 6, she's going to be 5 something or 4 something, or she's going to be taller, or just 2 guys or whatever. You have to know that. Another thing that is very, very, very important is if you have the 2 people next to each other, they have to be on the same line. They have to be on the same line. If you're drawing 2 people and you're drawing the complete body, I don't care what plane of that you have them standing on. I'm trying to draw a little perspective here. They have to be the same. Let's put this foot here. They have to be on that same line, or they won't look right. They'll look like one is floating in the air or something. Do I need to ink that? Where's my ink pen? La, la, la. It's just I'm getting a whole lot of pencil lines. They have to be on that same line, because if not, if I put somebody over here, they might look like they're flying up in the air, especially if their feet are next to each other. They have to be on that same line. So you have to you really, really have to make sure that that is correct. All right, so we've got this. We've got these, the cylinders, cones. We've got the height, and we've got the line. So those are the important things that you need to know before you do. Oh, one more other thing. Let me flip this over. And it's a lot of things that people don't go into, and you can't really get figures to that work this way. The shoulder. So, okay, this is the back, this is the neck, and this is the head. That's why one reason I don't like pencils, because there's a lot of glare. You see it perfectly. I'm seeing a lot of glare from my overhead light. All right, so here's your chest. Here's your head, your torso. Now your shoulder is here. Your bicep, tricep is here. When you lift that arm up, let's do this. Brian, did you just forget how to draw a lifted arm? I think I did. When you lift that arm up, that let me cut it because I'm losing it for some strange reason. I'm back. That delt is going to get smaller. It's going to take on this shape like this, because your delt is right your traps, which are your this little triangle right here over top of your shoulder blades. These are your delts, or your deltoid muscles, and this is your delts. I'm sorry, these are your trapezius muscles right here, and they go down your back. So if I'm looking from the back, here's the back muscle. It goes down here, it comes in and then down, kind of like almost like a throwing star, I guess, because they go up your neck. It goes up your neck like that, and then you come down. Then your I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Curve right up under there, and then you have your shoulder blade. Okay, so this is going to come down and ride your traps. Yeah, traps, bicep, tricep. I don't know why I keep going to bicep, tricep, delts, traps. Yeah, it rides that. So anyway, your arm is going to be like this. Now, when you, and then your traps are going to go like this. They're going to kind of run up your neck like that and then go down. And remember, this goes into your that muscle. I'm going to stop saying it because it'll probably pop up on the screen because, yeah, I'll be better once I get it. Then you have your wow, this is bad. Your lats. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to name these things anymore. Which come up from under the arm. So when you put your arm up, it's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. But when you reach, like I'm reaching for you to hug you, this, your delts, I said I wasn't going to name it, but that's right. Is it right? Is going to pull forward, are going to pull forward. Okay, so here's my thing. This is another reason why I don't like these pencils. They're too dark and they run out fast. So here's my head. And it's not going to be a long video because I'm going to do probably another part to it. But a lot of this is going to go on my, why am I still trying to name stuff? Patreon channel, because when I start doing like females and huggings and different positions, YouTube might look down on that. So I'm going to get a little deeper into this, but it's going to be on the Patreon channel and it's going to be a little longer. So if you really want to stay that long, then you'll go to the Patreon channel. So, okay, so you're going to raise that up. Here's your that. So when you reach forward, this is going to slide forward. Let me just put it in ink because I'm telling you, I can't see it. This is going to slide forward and it's going to obstruct your face, some part of your face. And then your delts are going to be, delts, are going to be further up. Right? Than they were back here. They're back, but they're gonna stretch further and pull your traps forward more. So it's going to give you that more of a lean in your back. So this, you're going to see more of the traps and you're going to see your spine because you're shifting up. So you're kind of like turning a little bit by shifting one, you're turning the other one. So you see a little bit more of your spine and the same thing, you see your lats and your chest. But as I say, it's going to shift you forward. You're gonna miss out on some of this neck. Of course, you know, the higher your arms go up, the less of the face you're gonna see. But if you're down, all of this right here is gonna go forward. And then of course you're gonna kind of lean as well. You're gonna get more curve, and it's going to make you lean as well. Yeah, so yeah, that's too much inking. So okay, anyway, that's a couple of things that you need to know when you are drawing. Is this focus or is it just me? When you are going to be drawing the arms reaching around somebody, and that's what hugging or grabbing is about, reaching and reaching and reaching. So now the important part, like as I was saying, that two things that you need are these two, and you're going to find out in a second. So what I would do, one figure is one color, one figure is the other color, the other figure is the other color, and it's gonna have to stay like that. In your brain, you have to be able to see what you're trying to draw, and I'm going to try to do the whole thing. And I have no idea how I'm going to try to draw this. If the man is going to be in the front or the woman is going to be in the front. So let's just throw something out because time is a waste. And I should have really drawn something and then just redraw it, but I didn't want to do that. So let's try this. Let's just do this. So I'm doing the wherever I did with it. I'm doing this shape. I'm always going to do this shape in the beginning, and you'll see as I go along. But I want to get the male or the first figure. I want to get the first figure right first. I want to get that form right. And remember, form right. I'm not trying to get muscles or anything like that. I want the form to be right before I draw any kind of muscle or clothes or anything on there like that. So I've got that. I've got that. I got a little bend in him because he's going to be bending down because of course, the female is going to be a little shorter. And remember what I said about the line. It's got to be on that line. So I'm going to put the head, but the head is subject to moving because I don't know how the female is going to grab him. So this is the female. Now, what I would do is I would start with the head. So let me say her head is right here. So now I'm going to put her body. Remember, her feet has to hit that floor. I want to put a curve, or do I want to go up? But for now, I'm going to do a curve. Kind of like she just ran up to him. And you understand why I'm using the two colors now, because it might get a lot messy. It might get a little, I'm going to say a lot, it might get a little messy, but then I'll know who's who by the colors. So now I know she's in front, he's in the back. She could have been up on her toes, but I did not make it there. So knowing that this is female, her shoulders are not going to be as wide. Let's put her neck. This is her spine. That's the action line. That's spine right here. It's going to be here. Now, the guy's shoulders, when you do shoulders, let me use another example. If you're doing somebody's shoulders and he's grabbing or hugging on somebody, let me give him a 3/4. Put it over here. You can't do this and the line comes or the arm comes. You see how stiff that looks? Brian, get it in the camera. Get it in the camera. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to bring that shoulder. I've got to draw the shoulder. You're going to have to bring that shoulder into a curve. You're going to have to curve it around. And this is the ball is going to be here. And then that arm is going to come down, connecting it here, there. So you're going to have to bring that down instead of being up here and then like that. You're going to have to, it's just something you're going to have to do. And I was going to give you an example. I thought about this and I forgot the example that I was going to show you. But anyway, so we got the bodies where I want them to be. I've got the right size. I've got them in on the same line. Now, this is the reason why I'm showing you this. If he's going to be, he's above her naturally. He's above her. So I've got her delt. I've got to put his delt. Now, the question is, whose arm is on top and whose arm is under the bottom? So let's just say her arm is going to be here. So that means if her arms are under the bottom, or just say the first arms, then his arm has to come around her. So this is why it's important to do this and then know which way something is going. So you won't see the ball here, but the arm is going to be going behind him. This shoulder is going to be down. Now for her, her shoulders might be up because it's her. And then you might see just a little bit of arm down, maybe not. So the shoulder is going to come down and then it's going to go down and probably around like that, or come down and then go back up like that. I'm drawing through, but I didn't want to do that because I don't want to have too many lines for the blue. So now I've got him, and his head is subject to change. I don't know if I said that. So this is his spine here, which is the V for the neck, because you always have that V for that neck. Wherever that center line comes between the chest, you're going to have that V, and then you're going to have over top of that, basically a triangle. basically a triangle. God, Brian, how many times? I don't know. It's just, I need a big screen. I need it right in front of me. So I'm saying you have this come down to a triangle. Let's do that again, just in case all of those who didn't see it. You have this, the body, the square, center line. You're going to bring this down to basically like the collarbone. You're going to bring this down. Have that upside down house right here. Have the head here. And then the triangle are your shoulders or your traps, which go, like I say, which connect to the delt. So we got this. So his head, so her head is here. Let me keep my color straight. So let's keep your color straight. Put his head like right here, because his head could have went down to hug her. So his shoulders are going to come down, and like I say, you're going to go around. You're going to go around now because she sticks out from him. They're not flat. She sticks out from him. So he's got to bring that arm around. So this is why I say you do this. It's just like drawing your cylinders. Did I spit all over my paper? The more opening you see, the more it's coming towards you. Why don't you just get the example? Yeah. All right, like I said, the more opening of that cylinder you see, the more it's coming to you, the more foreshortened it's going to be. So if I can't tell, this is a bad camera angle. If I put something big in here, that's a bad example, and I need to hug it, the cylinder is going to go out and then go in. The bicep, tricep is going to go out and then go in. So it's going to be something like this. It's going to be maybe like this. And a lot of times I give some curve. I put just a little bit of curve on there. And then here's the opening for that. So I'll just use the pencil. This is the ball, which is going to be the elbow. And then he's red. I'm going to maybe bring this up. So it's going to connect to this ball right around here. And it's going to go up. And then this is where my hand is going to be, right there. Okay? So by doing this, by showing that there's some curve here, you can tell it's going out and then coming in for a hug. So the other arm, which is where the shoulder, is going to be here. Let's just say down here, right? And then the other one is going to come in. So you're going to see that you're going to see that inner circle is going to be very close. Basically, you won't see a lot of side. And then that hand is going to be right here. Okay, so got my form down. Then I can start shaping it. Before I actually detail, I can start shaping it just like I did in here. Start shaping it. I know this is the top of the crotch. This is where I want. So my upside down house is going to go here. And it's going to be the top. This is going to be the tuna can, his waist. This is going to be the leg. And this is where the lat come in, or the side comes in, right there. Same thing with the female. This is the top. So this is her buttocks, like this. I'll make that those hips a little wider. The thighs a little bigger. And my eye line is about right here. So I'm going to do this right there. It's going to be a waist, and then she goes in. And remember that arm. So this arm is under his arm. So this is what I'm saying. You start to erase what you don't need in the red, because the blue is covering that red. But because I have the form together, it's okay to erase, because I know everything that you cannot see is correct. This is why I use the two colors. So his arm is in front of hers. That too. She is right here, spine. his head. Now, by showing you how I did this, the delt, then you can see that he is actually putting his arm around her. It's just not like this and just going straight down. Because when you put your arms together, you can't see that. When you put your arms both out, your back is going to round out. So let's just do a quick rough ink on this. This is 30 minutes. So yeah, see, this is why my lessons are long, because I try to teach as much as I can in a lesson, which is why I'm going to start doing the Patreon. So, okay, let's just do this. Let's give her some hair so that way we'll know she's a female. He is here. So that delt. And then I can erase everything basically. Her arm, his arm, her arm, shoulder, other shoulder, part of her arm is here, is her back. He's around there. I mean, I can straighten that out a little bit. I can sit down and take a few minutes and say, okay, something's not quite kosher with that one. And then her waist, her hips could be a little bigger, but this is just quick roughing for tutorial. You're going to see the heel of the foot, and the foot's like this. Same thing here. I would position the leg a little different. Maybe go back. If she ran up to him, then I would probably like the heel like that, but it still has to be on the same. It has to be on the same line, as I said. Got her, and I got to get him. Here's his knee. The leg is going back. The knee comes out here. I changed him. I changed her. Okay, so. And you don't want them stepping on each other as well. Shoulder, his head is now closer, bent into her. You won't see the shoulder because that's blocking. Now, you've got your position. You got your position. Now, at this point, I can say, I can dress the guy. I can dress him. Like I said, unless they're naked, then, but you know, that's a different story. So I did her legs. I was gonna put a dress on her. So no, I was gonna put some capris or something on her. Where's her leg? Right here. And maybe her t-shirt, whatever. I don't want to mess the whole thing up because you understand it now. A little belt for this guy, his pants, his clothes. Yeah, t-shirt. And for the, in place of the muscle, you're going to have to put the pull lines for whatever they're wearing. Yeah, I can dress it up. That'll take another 5 or so minutes just to do that. But I wanted to cover the rough points or the main points. You have to have that idea in your head. You have to be able to see it. Like I say, whether you're drawing, copying from another picture or drawing from another picture, or if you have that imagination in your head, or maybe you've got a couple figures that you want to put as close as possible together because maybe their joints don't move the way that they need to move to form this position. But you got to get it in your head. As I say, who's in the front, who's in the back. Make sure that you use your cylinder and your cone and the balls to actually show the motion of if your arm is going in, out, up, or down. And keep them on the same line, and you should be good to go. But I am going to do another position and explain a little bit more, but that's going to be on the Patreon channel. So it's going to cut right here. But when you go on the channel, you're going to see this, and you're going to see the more detailed version of it as well. So 34 minutes, 58 seconds, minus my intro. That's going to be it for this one. So hopefully you learned something. If not, go to the Patreon channel and you'll get more deeper in. I'll get more deeper into it, and then you'll learn a little bit more. All right, so if you're new to the channel, this is what I do. I try to draw all things comic book related. It's a new look, new time, new Brian. And if you find it interesting, please subscribe and leave a comment if you feel like it, if you can, if you want to say something. All right, so that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the next video.